everyone, and welcome to the Postmodern Art Podcast, the podcast dedicated to giving artists who are wowing the world over the platform they deserve. I am your host, Nathan Ragland, and for today's episode, I have a guest that I think leads to quite possibly one of the sweetest, one of the most genuine, and honestly, the most Ibbiest episode we've ever had. What does that mean exactly? Well, let me tell you. Today's guest is Ibby The Ibster, a character designer and storyboard artist whose stunning art and willingness to help has led to some unique opportunities on her art journey. Ibby is actually someone that introduced herself to me trying to get a different guest on the podcast earlier, Matt Bernal Richardson, the person behind Sirenetta. She's part of that crew, and I thought just by showcasing that, as well as just seeing the art that she's been able to do, I knew I needed to get her on the podcast at some point. Probably would have been a little bit sooner, but there's a reason why, and we'll talk about that during the episode, I promise. If you enjoy our guests, please make sure you support her with the links down in the description below. If you enjoy the podcast, make sure you like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. Leave 5 stars wherever you can. You know I see that stuff, and once again, it genuinely does warm my heart. And if you want to honor some of the guests that have previously been on this podcast, now is a better time than ever, if you're listening to this as soon as it drops, to nominate them as part of the 2026 Posty Awards. The nomination sheet is down below. I highly recommend you guys go through, nominate episode, thumbnail of the year, as well as some of your favorite animators, digital artists, VTubers, all those different aspects, so we can have another fantastic show like we did last year. The form closes on Saturday, March 14th at 11:59 p.m. So if you have not submitted that form today, now is a better time than ever to let us know who deserves a Posty Award. But now, without further ado, please enjoy the Postmodern Art Podcast. Again, we just gonna roll with it.
We're rolling.
Gotta keep rolling. What? I know you've been loving this right here. Anyways, take it back to the early 2000s with that. Why don't you? Right,
I remember those days.
I know. We are unfortunately that old.
Wow, yeah. I feel so elderly at the age of 24.
Honey, I'm 29, all right? That you want to talk to me about feeling old.
It's okay. Some of my friends are 29. It's fine.
Some of them are surprisingly older.
I know, right? So strange. We silly here.
We are, and I appreciate the silliness. That means that's going to be a good vibe for today.
Hooray!
Thank you so much for even taking the time to do this in the first place, by the way. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Like, this is like my first proper interview.
There we go.
So like, it's like, that's awesome. I'm gonna enjoy that.
Good.
Yeah.
So soak it in, drink it in all you can. All right. This is your moment. This is your moment.
Yes. I'm cool enough to be interviewed. Wow.
All right, Ibby, before we really do get going, I must ask the icebreaker question of the podcast, if I may. Let's say you get to go to a desert island on your own accord. It's just you alone with your thoughts. You get to kick back, relax, breathe, and truly enjoy yourself for a little bit. With accommodations. Maybe not a desert island, more like a personal B&B paradise away from society for a little bit. You're already kind of stuck on an island being in the UK, but that's a different story. To make sure you don't go completely insane on this island, you can bring one piece of media or one piece of art with you to help with whatever kind of headspace you want on this island. If given this opportunity, what would that one piece be?
Ooh, I honestly have to say I'd bring my Trigun manga with me because I think it's one of the most beautiful comics I've ever read. And it is really long, so it'll keep me occupied. So
I'm sorry.
Beautiful art in it as well.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear it correctly. You say dragon manga? Is that what it was called, or
Trigun. Trigun.
Trigun manga. Okay. No, honestly, just saying that alone, especially with what I have seen of it, it's one of those. It's one of those mangas, and especially one of those animes that I've always wanted to take the time to just indulge into, but just never taken the chance to. You know?
Oh yeah, like I remember seeing how beautiful the animation for Stampede was for the first episode. I was like, "Oh, what the heck is this?" And then the veteran fans was like, "Oh, you should check the manga first. That's where it's at." And then like
Okay.
I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess." And then I was like that Danny DeVito meme where it's like, "Oh my God, I get
understand.
it,"
I
and
get
then a tear rolls down my eye as I read the story. It's like that, yeah. It's so beautiful. I definitely recommend the books. It's really good.
Absolutely. But regardless, Trigun, especially the manga, that is your answer. You're locking that in.
I'm locking that in. That is a good story with good art in it.
Well, speaking of good stories with good art, I cannot think of a better way to start the Postmodern Art Podcast. Welcome, everyone. I am your host, Nathan Ragland. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. You will look fantastic with the merch we have at the merch shop, fourthwall.com. Link to that is in the description below. And follow us on Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and most social media platforms at Postmod Art Pod for future updates and guest announcements, including today's guest. She is a character designer and storyboard artist whose stunning art and willingness to help has led to some unique opportunities on her art journey. Welcome to the podcast, Isabel B, aka Ibby The Ibster.
Woo! Hello!
Hello! Hi, hello! How you doing today? Hello! How you doing today, Ibby?
Oh my God. I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I forgot on my portfolio I put Isabel B. That's back when my last name wasn't revealed.
Oh.
But yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I am Isabel Baldrini.
Baldrini.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Mhm.
Regardless, I'm gonna
Yeah.
call you Ibby throughout because I know you as Ibby the Ibster first and foremost, more than
Yes,
anything.
that is my stage name, as everyone should refer to me as.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
If I do say so, it is a lovely name to call upon you, and it's lovely to have you here on this podcast. I know we've kind of talked for a few months about getting you on the podcast at some point. I know when we were trying to do it, you were going through something that we will definitely talk about a little later on. That was a little intense, to put it mildly, but you're someone that actually has been a major help with this podcast, whether you realize it or not, mainly with bringing to attention of a guest that I previously had on the podcast. Matt, who is the person that created the wonderful Sirenetta Part-Time Mermaid, which you are a part of that crew, if I do remember correctly.
Yes. Oh,
And
I love storyboarding for it. It's
oh,
fun.
I can only imagine. Trust me, we'll be sure to talk about that as well as some of the incredible opportunities you've been able to have and then some. But before we talk about the stuff you're doing nowadays, I want to go back just a little bit and learn more or less the origin story of Ibby. What got you interested in art and animation and stuff in the first place?
So, my dream started when I was 3 years old, and
Okay.
I was watching Disney movies and DreamWorks movies, and my little brain could not comprehend the powerful magic that was animation, and
Okay.
I thought it was aliens. So, my little self was like, huh. So, I guess animation comes from a place called America. I can't wait to visit that planet one day. And then, obviously, the 3-year-old baby girl would be just thinking of these reasons for some reason. But as I got older, I realized, wait, people can make these? It's human people like you and me? What?
Right.
And then, from that realization, I just wanted to be part of that. I wanted to make beautiful stories like the ones I was seeing. And yeah, it's just so magical and powerful. Yeah,
It's wonderful.
realizing that.
It's wonderful how the world kind of works in weird and unique and surprising ways more than anything else.
Yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, all throughout school, high school, college. I even took the uni course and got an art degree and things. And
Oh, you got an art degree.
here
So
we are now.
fancy.
Yeah, yeah. I studied for art, yeah.
Gasp, you
Oh,
studied
God.
for art? How dare you?
I can't believe it.
I will say it is incredible to hear, obviously, that like what started off as just like the general love and appreciation for the classic movies and such kind of led you to this point at the end of the day. So I'm curious, when did it go from like, again, something that you just couldn't help but love and admire to a passion wanting to make it your career? Like, when did you fully know that, like, when did it go from just like watching the movie to being like, after you realize that people made it, I can be a part of that world and make that?
Yeah, well, so I remember being absolutely amazed by the Northern Lights in the film Brother Bear. And
Mm-hmm.
the whole scene where all the animals are going around in the sky, and I'm like, wow,
Oh
that's
my
so
goodness.
beautiful. What the hell is this?
I,
And like,
I was gonna say
then learning.
I cannot tell you how much I loved Brother Bear growing up. That was one of those DVDs or VHSs. I think no, it was DVD. It was a DVD that I had for that one. But I cannot tell you the amount of times I'd had that DVD on repeat more than anything else. Just with how gorgeous that movie is at the end of the day.
Yeah, that was my most favorite Disney movie, I have to
Okay.
say. Yeah. That was the one that made me realize this is something that I want in my life, but I don't know how to get to it. And then like it was kind of like a gradual progression as I got older and like watched like things like Adventure Time and
Right.
other shows like Regular Show and like Being Puppy Cat, that's a good one.
There you go.
Like I was like learning like how people do it and how they can get into it. And it's just I didn't think I would get there. Um, I didn't think I would get there when I was a very little girl, and I realized it was a thing you could get a career in. I so being a little girl, I believed in the Disney thing of wishing on a star.
Right.
I made a few wishes. I made a few wishes, and one of them was the career that I have now. So
Hey.
technically my wish came true. There's more wishes that I made, but maybe we'll get onto that later.
Yeah, maybe
That's
we'll
a
get
teaser for later,
we'll
maybe.
get on that a little bit later. But the fact that, again, like what
Hmm.
started off as like, again, the love for Disney or whatnot, especially seeing, again, Brother Bear among many of the others that kind of inspired you to be like, okay, I know that that's a thing that I could do, so I'm gonna do it. Well, I guess at a certain point you just gotta be like, tell everybody I'm on my
Yeah,
way.
yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Yes, that was me. That was me. Me on my way to my career.
Absolutely. And I imagine like what, obviously, there's one thing to love and appreciate and think you are going to be in the field. It's another thing when you actually do get in that field, especially once you got to uni more than anything else. I can only imagine how much of a surreal challenge at the end of the day must have been for you once you actually got a chance to be a little bit more hands-on with animation.
Oh yeah, like funny thing is, I didn't even take an animation course. I took a game art course because like I will say I do like video games as well, but
Fair.
like I didn't believe in myself to be like an animator, like doing it frame by frame kind of thing.
Okay.
I just thought I could make things pretty. So game art was the best thing I could do based on how much I believed in myself in that time. So yeah, I even learned 3D modeling as well, which
Ooh.
was really hard, but I did like UV unwrapping. That was
Okay.
fun. Rigging's a little hard, but like maybe I might get back into it someday. Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? But
I
like it
yeah.
was kind of fun. Yeah,
I mean,
deadlines were crazy though.
no, trust me. I mean, I imagine that's just animation in general. Just deadlines are going to be crazy in one form or fashion at the end of the day.
Mhm, mhm,
Depending on the level of animation, I should also note at the end of the day. But
mhm,
regardless,
mhm.
I mean, again, like getting the chance to even then, like with more or less game design as well. Like, don't get me wrong. Obviously, there's still a
Yeah.
lot of artistic integrity that comes into that, and there's still a lot of technical prowess that you need to learn with that. But the fact that you started off
Mhm.
there with your love for video games as well, And here you are now being full force into the animation field. That's got to be a bit of a whiplash, but also, oh, you know what? Yeah, let's do this. Let's roll.
Oh yeah, because like again with the courses I was doing, it's mostly design work and storyboarding, which is something I've always loved since I was 12 anyway. So it's like,
Okay.
oh cool, I could do this as my honors project with my character designs and storyboards, because that's stuff used in games as well. So it kind of coincides with animation, and like it was a. I will say it was a whiplash getting into like animation projects because again, I didn't think I could make it, but then I did. And it's like, oh my God, what? I'm doing the thing I always dreamed of. What the hell? I didn't think it would happen.
I definitely want to divulge more into how exactly you got to that point, but I did want to take at least one step back because I heard you mention that storyboard art in particular, is something that you loved and you've been wanting to do it since you were at least 12. What is it about storyboard art in particular that made you, like when you learned about it, made you want to go into that particular part of the animation design field at the end of the day?
Well, again, I was really scared of doing like actual animation, like moving the pictures. And it's like, ooh, that's a bit tricky. And do I have the patience for that? But when I learned that storyboarding was a thing and just designing the characters was a thing, it's like, oh, this helps with the animation that comes later. So if I'm able to do like the prep work things, that's still kind of good. And like, I like storyboards as well. It's like, it kind of like helps orchestrate how the animation will move later. It's kind of like music, but it's like it's fun. It's like a comic, but it's helping the animation move later. It's nice. It's like I really like it. Yeah.
No, absolutely. I can trust me. As someone that has seen the different aspects when it comes to animation in one form or fashion, with all the different people that I've been able to bring on this podcast and see them talk about like different aspects of it, I can understand how that love for you is there at the end of the day, and how the basically the stepping stones that you provide can lead to some of the gorgeous animation that we see later on at the end of the day. I mean, the big one is definitely storyboard art, but I think another one that I definitely want to emphasize is also like the character design aspect or whatnot. Like, what is it about character design that like creatively just like sparks that dopamine in your brain and like creatively drives you?
Ooh, I've always loved making characters. I
Okay.
love making I love the crazy creatures and robots and aliens and really cool people and wonderful things. Just I love making people and giving them stories. It's just, it's fun and like I for the past year or so I've been so obsessed with my character Pio and his design and
Okay.
stuff, and I love that alien boy so much.
We'll definitely, we gotta talk about PO in a little bit. Although I just want to say, like, your reaction whenever I initially asked, I feel like I'm the same way when describing food. If that tells you how much of a fat boy I am.
Oh, I love food. Food is great. I love cooking. I love
There you
eating.
go.
I get you, man.
It's like right there. There you go.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up the character design because as I could tell, especially with you talking about your session with a certain alien boy or whatnot, you seem to have a very a love more than anything else when it comes to the characters that you can create and the characters that you can bring to life in the character design phase. There is one character that I could not help but notice, and it leads to an entire concept that I imagine you probably tinkered with it in college, but I'm so curious because I want to learn more about it. What is this concept that I noticed on your portfolio called the villain of her story?
Ooh, that's right. I have two comics. Pio's
Okay.
comic and the villain of her story.
Right.
That's an older idea that I want to come back to, but I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I have to do Pio's comic first. But the villain of her story is about two kingdoms. There's the Princess of the Light and the Prince of the Dark, and
Mm-hmm.
they are forbidden to be in love, and have superhero fights, and they're always sword fighting, and he turns into a dragon sometimes. It's like, oh my god, and then the princess saves everybody, and every Tuesday or so. Um, but as they get older, they realize, oh no, I think I'm in love with my enemy. And it's
Ah,
like, but like the thing is, they've always been like secretly kind to each other.
right.
So like the kingdom has no idea about this, but there is a love budding and forming, and there's a love story. It is a love story, and I want to develop it further
Okay.
now that I've had more like life experiences, but that's basically what it is. The Prince of the Dark, Prince Dusk, falling in love with the Princess of the Light, Princess Dawn.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can imagine even then having that kind of just the elements of the bare minimum elements of what you were talking about, light versus dark. Normally, they're not like, ancient law tells them that they shouldn't even be interacting with each other, or at least not interacting in
Yeah.
positive light. But yet here they are slowly but surely just like falling in love more than anything else.
Yeah. That comic is just my inner little girl coming out, being like, "Oh yeah, princesses and princes!" Ah! But like cool anime battles as well.
Oh, I can only. I mean, I definitely got the anime vibe more than anything else, especially with the character design for the Prince of the Darkness or Prince Dusk or whatnot. Like, I'm gonna make sure that when I'm talking about this, to put the character up on the screen so that people can see it or whatnot. But like,
Yeah.
can I just say it's probably one of the coolest designs I've ever seen for a character, point blank.
I am so glad, thank you. Because like I was like, I want to make the coolest, most badass, non-human prince man, magician-looking fella,
Right?
and it's like, it's like I'm gonna make the coolest looking guy that I can simp for, and because because like you gotta make him charming, you gotta make him handsome sometimes.
Like if you had told me that this was actually like a cut character from like a Ralph Bakshi film or freaking Sailor Moon or whatnot, like some villain that they had cut from that or whatnot, I would totally believe you based on that character design. And I love how you're like, I want to make like the coolest non-human design. I think you nailed it with the fact that it's not a human. I don't think there's even really much of a, at least flesh, when it comes to this character that you've created.
Yeah, he works like Raymond. He's like floaty and his clothes form his body. It's so cool to me. And like when I did his quote unquote face, because he doesn't really have a face, does he? It's just his eyes and his mouth and his
Right.
hair out the back. And it's like, that I did that by accident, but that's really cool. I'm keeping this.
I believe
You
you call
know?
that accidental genius at the end of the day.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, I'm crazy about it.
Hey, you know what? Honestly, stay crazy about it more than anything else, because like
Stay crazy.
stay crazy about it, because like especially with like the little taste that we've been able to have when it comes to what you have been able to present or whatnot, like it does leave me curious. I know you said it's a story that you like to tinker with or whatnot. I'm so curious with like what you would like to accomplish if you're given an opportunity to like, sit down and focus on it at the end of that day.
Yeah. But yeah, at the moment my main focus is Guardians from Above, which is Pio and Abigail's story.
Would you like to elaborate on that story, if you may?
Yes, right. So the story is this. So let me give you a bit of lore.
Okay.
So God, I'm just calling them God for the time being. I don't have a proper name for her,
Okay.
but she has these alien children called guardians, and they are
Okay.
appointed a human. Not every human gets a guardian, but every guardian gets a human.
Okay.
And it's humanity's last chance. Abigail, woman from Ireland, though she is sent to space, the world has exploded. There is no more humanity. The humans destroyed Earth, and now she's on an alien planet, and she wakes up from the cryopod, and the aliens are like, hey, you're the universe's last chance of survival. We're going to wait for your guardian to show up, and then you guys are going to bring back all the crops and animals and all the things that existed on Earth, because she landed on a desert planet that made an agreement with Earth and other planets where aliens take refuge on this planet, and they are trying to bring everything back that was lost because the different alien races didn't take care of their planets properly, and now they're all having to survive together. And all the other humans before Abigail failed, so her and Pio are everyone's last chance.
So humanity's fucked, right?
Yes. It's more of a warning story, but like, hey, if we don't do anything, it could be real.
Yeah, it could be real. I mean, even then, regardless, just the way that you described it, that concept alone sounds like something that you would see off of like Amazon Prime Video or HBO as like a series, a type of series that they would do. And I mean that in the most positive way possible. All right, like
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, like sincerely, because like just the concept alone has me curious on just like the elements that you have. Again, you have a human basically taken away from their home when their home is dead at this point. Like Earth is essentially no more. Wonderful, fantastic. All right.
And before she was totally frozen over in the cryopod, she got to watch her family get smaller and smaller on the ground as she zoomed away, and just makes her cry before she freezes and goes to sleep for 100 years.
God, who hurt you?
I don't know. My brain just decided, hey, fun story. It is based on my life, except it's fantasy and sci-fi. So I don't know. I might have to talk to someone about it. I don't know why.
Yeah. Look, if you're thinking that I'm gonna be the person you talk to, we need to set up appointments for this kind of stuff. It's gonna be at least $1,000 per session at this point. No, I'm joking. I don't think your insurance could cover it, so you might want to find some way to get that covered. No, but even then, like, regardless, like, even if you just hearing what you had said alone or whatnot, like, I'm so curious because I definitely want to see more about this. And I didn't see this in any of the research that I was doing, which I feel bad for myself for not seeing that kind of stuff.
No, it's okay, because, like, I haven't really got around to, like, publishing any little bits about it because, like, I've been... because things and life and stuff, but like the story is supposed to start off with like no hope at all and everyone's doomed kind of thing, but as the story progresses, there's more hope, there's more care, she's making friends, there's love, and again, Pio and Abigail fall in love as well.
No, so spoiler.
I love romance. I'm a hopeless romantic. I have to.
Honestly, I completely understand where you're coming from with that. As a hopeless romantic myself, yeah, no, like even just that kind of that idea and the possibility of like this, again, human taken away from their home as is dying or whatnot, starting at a brand new place, like the absolute misery that they could be in starting out, but then seeing more and more of like how this alien community can like help grow and actually make through the goal that they have going towards or whatnot. Like that is
not just the aliens, other guardians as well, because Pio is the youngest of thousands of siblings of guardians that have come before him, and some of them show up to help as well, but there are evil guardians as well who don't want them to succeed. They wanna find Abigail and make sure Pio and Abigail can't enter the memory realm of the universe and bring things back and things. I don't know what to call that yet. I call it the memory realm, but they basically go to like Earth's history where it seems like everything is like, it feels real, but it's like not an alternate dimension. See, in the comic, because Pio is like one of the most powerful guardians, he breaks the fourth wall and says, hey, even the author is too mortal to understand how this works, so just deal with it. I'll think of something, but like it's beyond my human comprehension as well.
I mean, even then, just calling it like the beyond times or something like that, or like the before times or something like that. Literally
like,
the way you illustrated it right there.
They don't go back in time, but like they go through memories of the Earth, and they might encounter like old friends from Earth as well. Like there's memories of Abigail and her brother, and they act like the people in the memory realm, as I'm calling it, they act like they're still alive and nothing wrong has happened. But Abigail and Pio know deep down that they're not actually there anymore.
Right.
And yeah, I think even there's a friend that has a conversation that's like, yeah, I know this is the memory realm, but I believe in you guys, or
No.
something like that. So,
That
like, it's not actually them, but that's what they would say.
that is so like partially soul crushing for me to even hear about more than anything else. Because like
I love doing that.
you just love taking people's like souls and just like let's go enjoy it.
I love it. It's part of storytelling. It's so fun.
I mean, it certainly doesn't hurt, especially with, again, like such a unique and literally out there idea at the end of the day. I'm just like, again, like I was emphasizing with this person being humanity's last hope and like the hopelessness that could be filled with it or whatnot, but also like the amount of like hard work, determination to really prove everyone wrong. Because I can imagine, like you had emphasized or whatnot, just kind of there's this planet, everyone else has failed beforehand. Good luck. Hopefully you succeed more than anything else. Like that drive and determination is a story on its own.
Yeah, and like obviously there's like so much pressure on Abigail and Pio, but like together they don't have to be alone. They have each other, they have their friends, they have their newfound families and stuff. And it's kind of inspired by how I've gone through my own life and like the grief I've been through and how I've been powering through like tough times as well. And as we've kind of hinted before, my going through my cancer kind of helped improve my story as well, because I wanted to tell the story about how community is so important, but like my experience with cancer really helped me experience that firsthand, the story I wanted to tell. So now, because I've been through that, I shouldn't have had to, but like despite that, I feel like it's that pain that I've been through. It's made my story better, and I know how to tell it better because I've been through something more similar to what I wanted to tell.
Right. I mean, obviously, I think I can speak for everyone whenever I say no one should have to deal with cancer in the first place. That is,
no one should. No,
there's a reason why it's called a disease more than anything else. Like it's a horrible thing that anyone has to go through. You know, no matter what the circumstance, no matter how severe or how simple it is to deal with it. But the fact that you not only dealt with it, but you came out on the other side, like you got through it. You were like, as we were speaking, you can correct me if I'm wrong, you're at least cancer free at the moment we were speaking, correct?
Yeah. So like I just waiting on the radioactive iodine results, but I am cancer free.
Yeah.
I have a big scar on my neck, but I can't, no nerves in my right shoulder, but I am alive and kicking.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like this isn't even the first time I've cheated death in a way. Right. So listen, I have so much lore. My friends are telling me, hey, stop being the main character, stop nearly dying.
I mean, someone's got to be the main character.
And I was like, I didn't know. I thought I was playing the damsel in distress. But yeah, like the first time was when I was a little girl and I had like a very serious ear infection.
Okay.
That could have killed me very young.
Jeez.
And yeah, I know, right? And like going back to the wishes I teased before, again, I wished for my career, but I also wished for like being able to beat my disease and also find genuine friends who love and care about me for who I am.
Yeah.
And not just that, but like a very special best friend, like in Lilo and Stitch when she's like, give me the nicest angel you have, and then Stitch comes down and starts evil laughing. I will tell you who that is in a sec.
Oh.
But like, apparently, if you suffer from an infection like that when you're really young, I heard this from like a science expert. You can develop a cancer 20 years later. And I was born with that ear infection, and I think it stopped around when I was 7 years old. But then in December of 2023, we noticed a massive lump on my neck.
Oh.
And throughout 2025, I was going through a lot of personal things. I was being bullied by toxic people while trying to figure out what this thing is in my neck.
Right.
And when I was like really down, all my friends came to show their support and show that they loved and cared about me. And that like really inspired like what I wanted to tell in my story.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, another wish I made is I wanted to be a princess, because obviously I was a little girl.
Right.
And all my friends made me feel like a princess, because they all, like the midmortis team, the indies fair, the boys on the internet, love those guys. And the best friend that I wished for, Willobot.
There you go.
He kind of led the charge on everything. And so when the doctors told me it was cancer, papillary thyroid cancer, I couldn't help but feel a smile in my soul, because I had everyone behind me, and all I could think was, I'm gonna kick this thing's ass for everybody.
Hell yeah.
They're there for me. I gotta fight this for them. I don't want their love and support to be in vain.
Absolutely.
And like, everyone made me feel like a princess, and they're like my knights. But out of everybody, Will is my dragon.
There you go.
He took me above the clouds, and he let me touch the stars for the first time. And I am so proud to call him my best friend and my brother. And I'm just remembering now, like, my color is blue. His color is orange, our little thing. And I think about that, and I'm like, wow, he really is the glowing sun in my blue sky.
That is, like, genuinely as a very heartwarming tale at the end of the day, because I imagine there, like I emphasized before or whatnot, like, cancer is not something that anyone should have to deal with in the first place, but it's not an easy thing to even deal with in the first place. But the fact that you already knew that you had people behind you ready to help you out in no matter what, especially willobot more than anything else, to be there for you and really help you out through what was probably the hardest battle you had to deal with up to this point, because it's not easy. I mean, there's a reason why it's so prevalent, and it's such a thing that people need to be cautious of today, no matter what. And the fact that like you said that, like, I imagine obviously the fear was there, but you also knew that, like, I can do this. I can kick cancer's ass. Like, this is you were determined at the end of the day to make sure that this stuff was not going to be the end of you. And again, here you are after the fact. You've done it. Like, you can stand proudly on the top of your mountain just being like, I beat cancer come at me, motherfuckers.
Yeah. Oh, and like the thing is, well, everyone made me feel like my life was valuable.
It
I
is.
didn't feel that until everyone was there, and like when they were so worried when I was nearly on my deathbed, when my lungs collapsed that day.
Yeah.
And like it's kids have calcium,
Yeah.
please, because like
Yes.
you need calcium. That's why my lungs collapsed, because
Oh, wow.
the calcium IV came in late, and I was like, oh my god, I can't breathe anymore. But like, it's just like the nicest. Like I heard the nicest things from everybody, and I'm not gonna out anyone and embarrass them, but like the wonderful things I remember someone telling me is I would do many things to make sure you don't die.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know why that's like one of the sweetest things I've ever heard. They've said that and they meant it.
Oh, yeah.
And I could feel that they meant it. And I was like, oh my God, everybody does love me. Like it's a genuine love, a genuine friendship. And my friends, especially Will, taught me what real friendship is.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, and like I have to talk about the lads in my life real quick, because Pio is definitely inspired by all my male role models. Because growing up, I didn't have many male role models. Keyword many. There was like my uncles, and like I always looked up to like Markiplier and Dan and Phil, and
Alright.
obviously fictional ones like Sonic.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know this is a very genuine moment, but I'm just thinking like the names that you listed, just seeing them in like basically next, like imagine if they were all standing together in a room. It would be the most weirdest conversation you could probably ever think of when it comes to like how they're supposed to do
Mario.
Sonic and Mario, Markiplier.
Yeah. Oh, Dan and Phil. Oh, gee. But like they, for Pio, because of what they did for me, Pio is a better character now, because they taught me what true masculinity is and what that means. Like true being, like the bravery to be gentle and vulnerable.
Yeah.
And when people were like, when they were like angry about how much hurt I was going through, that was the first time I saw anger be a beautiful thing, because I only knew of like scary anger, but they were angry in a protective way. They
Right.
wanted to protect me and make sure I was okay. And it's just so beautiful. Like I have to shout everyone out. That was like again, Will, the lads at the Lemon Tree, my newer friends who welcomed me in, like that one scene in Brother Bear where it's like, welcome to our family. I was like, I don't belong here. And they're like, nah, everyone belongs
here.
Like I belong somewhere and I'm wanted somewhere. And I feel that's really sweet. And like the boys on internet, Alex, Scott, Joe, they're like older brothers to me, and like they've helped me with my career as well. I'm a channel artist for them, and I didn't realize how protective of me they were, and it was so beautiful, like reading back everything they said and how much they care, and yeah, going back to my best friend Will again, I actually got to meet him this week.
Oh.
And it was so sweet. It was like one of the happiest days. It's like, so I was doing my little happy Ibby screams, like, and then fella freaking rugby tackled me. but like That was like the hug of a lifetime. I was waiting for that hug since I was a little girl,
There you go.
making wishes to Rosalina in Mario Galaxy because I saw her as a fairy godmother because I was a sick little girl who was scared. Of course I did that,
Right.
but like I waited like around 20 years for that moment, and like I remember driving him back home, and we were sat at the back of the car together, and
Hmm.
the stars were out. And like, whoever the hell wrote my life is a great author because I like all the callbacks that happen and all the foreshadowing. But like, I remember a time we were talking to each other over text, and he was looking at the stars, and I decided to look at the stars too. And we had a nice moment just talking and
Oh,
looking up at the sky. Me from my window, him from a hill somewhere. He was out something, but like then we're in the car together looking out at the stars. It was like the feeling I had in that moment was I did it.
yeah.
I finally made it. I every wish I ever wished came true, and I've come so far. And once I was just a little girl playing Mario Galaxy,
Yep.
being sick, and now I'm healthy. I've beat cancer, and I work on like 10 different projects. I didn't think I would be having a podcast with my best friend as well. Like, what? I never would have guessed that wasn't on my bingo card for
Right.
life.
Oh
Hmm.
goodness. No, I mean, I cannot tell you the amount of love I'm feeling just from you talking about all this stuff more than
Yeah,
anything else.
like, yeah. And like, of course, my family was there for me as well.
Of
Like,
course.
my sister held my hand as she was trying to help me breathe, and everyone was there. Like, they always making sure I was okay. And
Yeah.
as well, like, but like, there's more family now. There's there's more ohana, as Salila Stitch would say.
No,
There's always room for more
there always
in
is
the
room for
little
more.
Ibster family.
There always is room
Mhm.
for more than anything else. No, I was gonna say because I know, like for example, part of the reason why we didn't do this podcast a lot sooner, more than anything else, because at the time that we were even talking about doing this, you were right in the heart of dealing with this kind of stuff. I cannot tell you how
Mhm.
concerned I was for you on my end more than anything else. Because obviously, like again,
Oh, bless.
because again, like I said a million times before, cancer is not something you have to easily deal with at the end of the day. That's why I was more than happy to wait
Hmm.
and you know. I told you many times. I told you before that like all my thoughts and prayers were for you to get through it more
Oh,
than anything else.
bless.
Because like you said, you didn't think so, but like trust me, people care. I still care because you were still a very
Yeah.
you would always in the limited times we've always interacted, you have always been a wonderful, sweet person to chat with at the end of the day.
Oh.
And I knew how much you helped out with so many other projects and stuff that like that aside, you were still a very important person at the end of the day.
Like again, like finally realizing that that's part of Abigail and Pio's story, and like
Exactly.
finally going through that myself, I feel like I can tell that story much better now. Like it's life imitates art, I guess, but like all this love that I didn't realize was there, that has really helped me grow
Hey, you know
as a
what?
person
Hey, you know
and
what?
as a writer.
There you go. Hey,
Hmm.
you know, you can say life imitate art, but also at the end of the day, art interprets life. So,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's so beautiful. And I love being alive, and I love just trying to live to the fullest. That's the whole point of my story and my
yeah.
comic. And it's yeah, I have no words for it. It's just,
No,
yeah.
I think this is
I said words,
I
but
was, I was, I was
I've
gonna
run
say
out of the words.
I was gonna say based on the conversation we've had so far, you've had plenty of words for it or whatnot, but you may have no
Oh
more
yeah, I've
words
been
at this point.
rambling. No more words, yeah. But like it's just a feeling now.
Absolutely. And I mean, like, I will also say it's also a testament to talk about the fact that not only have you had a chance to not only survive and thrive to work on your own stuff, but the fact that you get to still live your dream to work in art and animation and stuff. I know I kind of tinkered with it a little earlier when it comes to some of the stuff, but I did want to talk about some of the incredible opportunities you have been able to have ever since you really devoted yourself to this art field more than anything else. And I want to talk about arguably the biggest one, at least when it comes to name recognition more than anything else, to start things off. How in the world did you get an opportunity to work in an apprenticeship with the BBC?
Oh, right. So, my dear mother. So, I was struggling with job hunting.
Okay.
And I started getting into indie jobs. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm starting out and stuff. And like, there was a disability charity because I'm a disabled woman. I won't disclose what disabilities those are, but I am disabled. And there was a charity that was like, hey, if you apply to this, we can get you a job in an apprenticeship. So that's how I got that, and I spent the summer there. And most of the time, you had to play Roblox and research how kids like the games. But in between, I did illustration work for the educational games.
I did see
I was on the games team.
There you go. No, I was gonna say I did see some of the assets you were able to draw on some of the illustrations or whatnot. I mean, regardless, the fact that you got to have a hand helping out with arguably the biggest like network, on that side of the pond more than anything else, and especially for providing parts for something that is actually quite vital for especially the next generation or whatnot. That's got to be even surreal to even think like I had a hand in that. How did I even get here?
Oh, like little kids got to play with the little alien and the astronaut that I did, and the play in the little planet that I painted. Exactly. I think that's quite cool to think about.
That is really cool. I mean, like even then, that was just like a drop in the bucket when it comes to some of the stuff you had a chance to help out with, and some of the stuff you've been able to do more than anything else. I mean, like. That's on the big name spectrum. We haven't even talked about the indie stuff. I will say one of the biggest ones I wanted to talk about, and we teased it earlier or whatnot, but I want to talk about the reason we even got a chance to know each other in the first place. How did you get the opportunity to work on Sirenetta Part-Time Mermaid?
Well, it took a lot of networking, and my first proper project I got to work on was midmortis.
Okay.
Shout out to all of them, by the way. Beautiful friends, love them. They're great. Sean, Egg, Meg, Borg, love you guys.
No, absolutely. And obviously, shout out to former guests Sean Poole and Meng for talking about that wonderful indie animated project in the first place. We can definitely talk a little bit about it if you want to at a certain point, but yeah.
But yeah, like so again, like throughout 2024-ish to now-ish. Like, I was just like being out there and be like, hey, could I help you on your project? And like, let's count how many there are now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not including boys on internet, which is 9. If you count what I do for willobot, 10.
Regardless, you are certainly not lacking in work at this moment.
Oh yeah, I'm not job hunting anymore. I have all the jobs I need right now. But but yeah, it just took a lot of networking and things. And I remember seeing a post from Sirenetta like, we're looking for storyboard artists. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to apply to this as well. And I didn't realize how big it was. And like, I didn't know the voice cast. I didn't know how, like, the big names they were. I was like, oh, how did you get them and them? What? And I got to storyboard a really fun scene, which I cannot talk about. Aww. But you should be able to see it when the movie gets released.
No,
but I had such a fun time storyboarding for Sirenetta so far.
I can only imagine, especially with the fun world that Matt has set up for Sirenetta more than anything else. And like you said, the fact that you got a chance to even tinker in that world, let alone have fun with I can imagine a very key scene when it comes to the movie when it does get a chance to drop, since it did get the funding that it needed and such. Thank you to the people out there that made that reality, because it was so fun. It was so fun to talk to Matt about it. And in turn, thank you for even getting in touch with me to get in touch with Matt to
Yeah,
make that
I
a reality.
remember. I remember watching the episode and they were shout out to Ibby. I was like, it's me.
Hey,
I did that.
Hey, you know what? Surprise when people make connections or whatnot, they want to recognize that, you know, hey, I didn't do this on my own. I got to shout out the person that made this thing a reality. Shocker, I know.
I like helping people, and I thought, oh hey, there's a thing. Oh, do you want to do it? And like, I go around and like I have friends who want to be voice actors, and I send them links to things like audition for this now.
Okay.
You know, so like I find a post and I'm like, I want to help my friends out.
There you go.
I should send these their way. So like I'm helping them. People are helping me as well. I'm like, oh, that's really sweet. My friend Alex, he don't really need help from me. I think he's in a lot of like indie games and stuff and things. Alexander Hanley. I'm going to tell this story now because I don't know if I can ever tell this story
Do it
anywhere else. But like how I met Alex, also known as Blair Lex.
Okay.
Yeah. On one of my earlier jobs, I met him and I thought he was just a fellow artist, and it was like, oh cool. And then I was like going through his Twitter, like just like, you know, like trying to understand my team and who they are and stuff. And I was like, oh, he seems to like this character a lot. And then I was like, wait a minute. Oh, he is the character. He is a voice actor. What? And surprise, that character was in a dating sim that one of my sisters played. So small world. I didn't realize.
Small world indeed.
And I was like, oh Jesus. And we're both Irish, so that's really cool.
Gotta love that classic Shamrock connection.
And then like again, because like I was such a silly little me, apparently the boys on the internet was like, hey, you're our channel artist now because we think you're cool. And I'm like, oh my god, no way. And like I was so happy that day. And like the day they changed their channel logo and other things to like my art, and they started using the PNG tubers for their live streams, I was like, no way, I did that. That's me. And it's like things I never thought I would do. It happened, and I'm like, wow. Life is beautiful.
How did that connection with the boys on the internet even come to reality? How did you make that connection in the first place?
Again, it's on my earlier jobs. I met Alex, and then like
he's part of the boys on the internet. Gotcha.
He is part of the boys. He is one of the three boys on the internet. And obviously, like, because we grew to be friends, I was like, I want to support him and his stuff. So I started supporting his Let's Play channel with his friends, and then eventually, I became the channel artist, and it's so fun. It's been so lovely. They're so sweet, my lads. And their server is also the same place where I met Will. So
there you go.
Without them, I wouldn't have found my best friend.
Without this weird connection of two Irish people meeting on an earlier job, we wouldn't have the person that has basically been like the ultimate, like the what's the word I'm looking for?
The ultimate best friend.
The ultimate best friend, the ultimate right-hand man to some of the biggest struggles you've had in your life at the end of the day.
Yeah, like I want to say as well, because I don't think I do. I was going to mention it before, but I forgot to. But like, me and Will were like, again, Lilo and Stitch. We're like Sonic and Tails, Mario and Luigi. But we're also like in Undertale, Kara and Azriel, and Shadow and Maria, if they got to live and be happy. Like, not everything has to be doom. Like, I'm the Maria that didn't die. You know, like, Shadow and Maria got to be siblings and be best friends and be happy in this universe. Like,
I mean,
that's what it feels like.
I mean, it certainly seems that way, considering the fact that you guys have been able to get to the point now to where not only are you guys considered the best of friends, but you done the one thing that best friends tend to always do: start a podcast together. I want to hear about this incredible podcast you've started recently. In fact, by the time that we're recording this, you only got 3 episodes out for the time being. But I want to hear about From the Outside Indie. What is this podcast for people that may have no idea what I'm talking about?
Right. So From the Outside Indie is another independent media podcast. So we interview people so Will knows indie game devs, and I obviously know indie animation people. And Will came to me and asked, "Do you want to start a podcast together?" And I was like, "Me? Are you serious?" But then, then obviously I tagged along anyway. And that was before I realized we were besties. Like, that was before our friendship was forged in the fires of extreme moments and things. And so we get on, like, we actually interviewed Meg in episode 3.
Oh, yeah.
Midmortis creator Meg. Yeah, that was a fun episode. I like how I'm really silly and Will is like, no, don't say that. Oh, what is going on? Like, he's the straight man and I'm the comic relief in the friendship.
You sound like you and Will sound like me and Tipsy whenever I bring TipsyJHearts on the podcast to help me out with an interview or whatnot. I have to be the straight lace. All right, we got a conversation. Let's keep the conversation more going. And Tipsy's over here is like, I want to talk about frogs. Or like just something random like that, you know?
I love frogs.
Look, I love them too, but what does that got to do with animation? You know?
Hey, amphibia.
True. Also, we gotta give a slight shout out to Flushed Away. They did feature some incredible amphibians.
Yes, they did. See, frogs are always relevant.
And I'm so glad you brought up the midmortis people, because that was one of the things I was going to bring up. The fact that one of the episodes that you got to highlight was for the people behind midmortis, which again, I was able to bring a couple people on this podcast, have them talk about their experience. I'm curious when it comes to you, when it comes to midmortis, at least, how did you get involved and what's the experience been like for you? Because I can only imagine, especially with such a unique world that Meng has developed or whatnot, it must be fun to be able to tinker in that sandbox a little bit.
So, right. So obviously I had some odd jobs here and there, and then Meg took me in the little midmortis family, and that's my first proper animation job.
Oh wow!
And I've been having such a blast on it, and like, if it weren't for Meg and the midmortis team, I wouldn't have been on all these other projects. It's because of them I'm everywhere now. Like, I owe a lot to them. They have done so much for me, and they are great friends of mine. I love the midmortis family, and it's so fun. And they made me realize how good I am at cleanup animation.
There you go.
Earlier I mentioned how afraid of animating I was, like frame by frame, but they helped me discover cleanup animation, and I'm like, oh, this is actually really easy. I can do this one, you know? And it's like, it's like everyone's helping me grow and learn new things, and it just feels amazing. This life I live is an incredible adventure. I'm having such a great time.
It really is. I mean, think about all the stuff that we had talked about up to this point when it comes to the podcast. You have lived a hell of a life and then some, all right?
Oh. We haven't even talked about my family. We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like we're going to need at least like a 5-part series to talk about that based on just that little suggestion alone.
I have too much lore. I only briefly talked about my illnesses. I only briefly talked about those.
Yeah. I mean,
But like, yeah.
that was a lot just to talk about the illnesses more than anything else. I mean, but regardless, like even then, you know, the fact that you get a chance to work on such an incredible project, and especially to be able to be a part of such incredible stuff with, again, your best friend Willobot, shout out to them, obviously.
Shout out to Will.
Especially when it comes to this podcast that you guys have really started, which I just want to say before anyone even gets the wrong idea or whatnot, I am always going to be a person that's going to champion bringing voices to indie animation and indie game projects more than anything else. So don't think you're ever stepping on my toes. All right, just letting you know.
Yeah, we're working together.
Yes.
We're working together. We're helping everybody.
If I really had an issue
with it, we're handshaking.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if I really had an issue with it, do you really think I would have brought it up on this episode and also made sure to link it in the description so people can go check it out and listen to the episodes that are there? And do you think I would also go out of my way to also say, if you guys need guests in one form or fashion, if there are any guests that I've previously had on the podcast that you would like to talk with, let me know. I can make that connection. But also, if you guys want a an indie podcast host on his own to talk about the experience and the things that he loves when it comes to indie animation, I'm always open to hop on. Just saying.
Ooh, I will. He'll probably listen to this episode and be like, "Yes," or we might discuss it after this call. Yeah,
there you go.
But yeah, that sounds great. Yeah. That sounds so wonderful. Thank you.
Because if nothing else, I know when it comes to the people that I have had on the podcast more than anything else, like if my conversations with them are anything, they love to talk about their projects, and I love continuing to give them platforms to talk about this kind of stuff. So if my audience out there loves what they're hearing and wants to hear more incredible people in indie animation and indie gaming field or whatnot, go check out From the Outside Indie and help make that grow. Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
and also Will streams games. I'm gonna start Let's Plays probably next week by the time of this recording. So if you want gaming of us yapping, do that as well. Follow us, guys, on our individual channels.
Links,
smiley face, blinking so prettily.
Links in the description. More anything else. Also, I'm gonna ask this right now. This is probably something I should say for after the conversation. But are you guys working on getting the podcast to streaming platforms like Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatnot?
Right. Will is a genius. He has it on everything.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
I don't know how much he's like the tech guy.
Okay.
I just sit there and look cute.
I didn't know if it was available on there, and if it wasn't, I was gonna give you guys a hey, here's how I was able to get my stuff on audio platforms. But if you got that covered, good. Glad to hear that.
Yeah. It's crazy what the lad gets up to. He's like, I don't know, it is like RSS or something, and it uploads to every single platform, and I'm like, how?
See, I go with a much simpler route. I just go with Spotify for creators because you can upload your stuff through there more than anything else. It gets it to all the different platforms. But RSS feed is also it's like the go-to way, like the original way in order to get that stuff onto all the different platforms. So if it gets the job done, who am I to complain?
Yeah. Oh God.
I mean, regardless, I was gonna say, but regardless, even just taking a step back with all the stuff that we had a chance to talk about, I feel like you've already kind of answered this question. But given the fact that, from the person that was watching Disney films like Brother Bear and Lilo and Stitch to here you are right now with a hell of a life experience. You've lived 1,000 lifetimes and then some.
I feel like I've lived 1,000 lifetimes. I feel so wise and old now.
But just thinking
still silly though.
But just thinking about this journey as a whole, both with life but also with the art in particular, are you amazed with more or less how much you've been able to develop as an artist?
Yeah, again, same feeling I had when I was looking at the stars with my friend. It's I did all this art and it just gets better and better, and freaking I've never felt so proud of myself before, because even with my university degree, it felt kind of empty.
I get
Like
that.
there's something missing here. There isn't like a passion here. There isn't like a pride here. There's something very missing. And again, like after all my wishes came true and I beat cancer, it's like I did it.
Yeah.
And my art is getting better and better, and I'm getting better and better as a person, and everyone's helping me get better and better. And oh my god, and the timing of things as well, like after my surgery, like the people I look up to, like again, like Markiplier's Iron Lung came out after I left the
Yes.
hospital, and I couldn't help but be like, I'm so proud of him. And like Dan and Phil did their hard launch podcast, and I'm like, oh my god. And like so me and Will released our podcast after that, but
There you
like
go.
we actually started recording in June of 2025, but
Jeez.
obviously medical things got in the way, so we
Right.
had to put it on
Obviously.
hold.
Obviously.
hmm But like looking at the timing of everything and like my art getting better and all the other things, and like as well, like recently I kind of have been struggling a bit with my identity as an artist because I can't feel my shoulder anymore because
Right.
the nerve shut off after surgery. I've
Right.
got more of my arm back, but I do feel like Raymond a little bit with his floaty hand a bit.
I
But
understand where you're
like,
coming from.
but like as it wakes up slowly and slowly day by day, I feel like I just gotta take it easy,
Yeah.
and I'm sure by the time I've completely recovered, I'll be more confident in my art again. But like I am slowly like I'm drawing, I'm doing things for fun in the meantime, and I'm like, hey, I'm getting back to my normal self again, maybe even better than I was before.
There you go.
And even with a numb shoulder, so that's kind of badass to think about a little bit.
That is actually really badass when you think about it more than 2 seconds.
Yeah, so simultaneously, I'm like, take it easy, but also I am getting better, and I'm still a good artist despite everything I've been through. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's it's incredible to hear at the end of the day, especially with again all that we've already talked about more than anything else. The fact that again you've lived a hell of a life and then some when it comes to this point.
Uh-huh.
But
Uh-huh.
but for this next question, what if we go a little above and beyond, Ibby, and let me give you more or less the dream scenario, if I may.
Ooh.
Let's say I am Big Shot Mr. Moneybags. I come up to you and like, look, Ibby, we have seen just the incredible stuff you've been able to put out there and have a hand in, and we feel like there's potential with you to do something bigger and better and bolder and brighter at the end of the day. You just need a little extra push, a little extra platform to get you to that point. We have access to
Uh-huh.
everyone and anyone in whatever industry possible, and more money than there should be possible. We probably should be giving that back to the animators, make sure they have a good living wage, be able to cover healthcare and stuff like that, all that kind of stuff. We'll focus on them in a little bit, we promise. Like, you have our word. We will be able to help them out. But at this moment,
That's good.
we want to focus on you and you alone. If given this opportunity, what would be the dream Ibby the Ibster project?
So, if I could, I would turn Guardians of From Above into a two-part movie because my comic is a
Oh,
two-parter, but a movie animated by Studio Ghibli
there you go.
because I love that art style. And I want Pio to be voiced by the singer of the band Good Kid because ever since I heard their music, thank you, Skotsky, for getting me into Good Kid. I was like, oh my god, this is Pio's voice.
Yep.
This is Pio's voice. I need it. This is him. This is the voice I hear in my head when he speaks. And their music is so good, and a lot of their songs have inspired most of the scenes in the movie.
Oh,
Like
I can imagine.
their song Witches, there's a cool alien cop chase. Love it. because like it's just Abigail and Pio getting away. And it's like, so many shenanigans happen, and I'm like, oh my god, shenanigans. And like yeah, there's like they sang a song called Madeline.
Yep.
Abigail and Pio have a cute dance to that in the night, and I'm like, I need that. I need that. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I would like.
No,
Yeah.
that sounds absolutely incredible. I'm just thinking now, just like the moment, like freaking the two of them are starting to wonder if they actually like if there's a moment in like the comic or in the movie where the two of them are wondering, do I actually like this person or whatnot? I can just imagine their cover of the Laffy song, "What's a Girl to Do?"
Yeah. Oh my god. I was gonna say the first song I heard that made me think of Pio was Good Kid's cover of From the Start, because
Yeah.
he has always had a crush on Abigail,
From the
and
start. Yep.
she don't know. And it's like, hell yeah, because he loved her on Earth, he loves her now. Is he gonna make the move?
Right.
You know, I love my silly alien boy.
That would be absolutely incredible more than anything else, especially if you can get this to snowball to the point where that can be a reality. I sincerely hope that that becomes a reality, because now I now need to hear, I need to see that in reality, in motion.
I would love that. I do want to make animatics for each scene as well. So there could be soon maybe a visual, but like if it ever does become a reality, that would be cool. And if I can't get Ghibli, maybe DreamWorks.
There you
Who knows?
go.
Because they have animated comics before. Like
Oh yeah.
I think. Oh yeah, I think Blue Sky did Nimona.
Yep. Yes,
Not
they
Blue
did.
Sky. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there are companies out there who are willing to do that. So it could happen. I don't know. My life is still going.
Yes.
Anything could happen. A lot of things I didn't expect have happened. So who knows? You know?
No, trust me, it's definitely something to easily consider. But sadly, we do gotta get down from the dream scenario. We have to get back to reality, and
Damn.
I'll ask the ever so generic question. Where do you hope to see yourself, say, 5 to 10 years from now?
I think just being able to keep doing it, but like at a higher level, I feel. And hoping maybe live closer to my friends and we can do more things in person.
There you
Like
go.
me and Will were talking about like maybe doing Unisana style videos. Not exactly like Unisanas where we
Right.
delete the channel at the end, but like the silly things they do
Right.
on that.
The actual silly content itself, not the
The
whole entire
actual silly
concept.
yeah, 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 exactly. You know, like being Mark and Ethan. I think, yeah, like I was gonna say maybe I'm Ethan, but I feel like we switch sometimes. Sometimes I'm Mark, he's Ethan.
How about
But yeah,
you?
most of the time.
How about in this dynamic, you be Ibby and he be Will?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
I think it's a wonderful concept, you know?
You know, I'm just like trying to explain
No,
who
I get you.
is who sometimes. Yeah, but yeah, yeah. Whatever happens, I'm looking forward to it because I am at the happiest I've ever been, and
Yeah.
I know things will get even cooler from here on out. Like I've been through all the storms. I'm finally living the life that I wanted. Th- it's just cool from here. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, think about where you were 5 years ago compared to where you are right now.
Uh-huh.
If what could happen then
Big
could happen,
leap.
yeah, big leap in the past 5 years compared to like what the next five could potentially be. It'll be easy street in comparison.
My word. Yeah. And like I also wanted to mention how like how everyone was my hero. And
Oh,
maybe like I remember my friend like I was joking like, oh, maybe I could be like somebody's Markiplier someday. And my friend Asher was like, yeah, that's possible. I forgot his exact words, but like he helped me believe that that is true. Like maybe I could be someone's Markiplier or Blair or Scott or Joe or Dan or Phil or Sonic or whatever or Rosalina. And like because everyone was my hero, I hope that I could be like a fairy god sister to them. That's another hope that I have for the future.
I think anyone that takes a chance to make content like this or content like you do or whatnot, that you want to do or whatnot, always has that kind of hope in the back of their head that they have that kind of impact on a person. I mean, I'd be lying if I said that I didn't have that same ambition and hope whenever I put out, the podcast or even what I'm doing now with the second channel that I just dropped. More than anything else, doing stuff that's a little bit more like content creation based, not just podcast based. More than anything else, like
I've got that video bookmarked. I'm gonna watch that.
I sincerely hope you enjoy, and I sincerely hope that you laugh. But I also want to keep a note that for those that have not watched that video yet, that video is a year and a half in the making because we recorded it.
Wow.
We recorded it September of 2024, and it wasn't until I thought about making a second channel did I finally get to it and edit it to where it is now. Because
that's around the same time I started my career.
Well, there you go. that video is as old as your career.
Wow.
As we start to wind down the interview, I just got one last question I want to ask you. Obviously, you are deeply entrenched in art in one form or fashion. Again, talking about the days of Brother Bear and Lilo and Stitch, like from that to where you are right now, there's nothing that's going to drag you away from this field. Not even the mortal coil of life is going to take you away from art at the end of the day.
I know that too well.
How important is art, not just for you, but for the world as a whole?
I mean, art is kind of what makes us human in a way. It's kind of what connects us to each other. We are giving each other a sense of visual communication and telling stories through pictures. And I know I like doing that a lot, and I show how much I love my friends and family through art, no matter how serious or silly the art might be. And I feel like if everyone like appreciates art more, we can just connect with each other on a deeper level, like a level that doesn't even need words. We can just know, like, yeah, this is a sign of love.
I think that is wonderfully worded, if I do say so myself.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Ibby, that is all the questions I have for you today. I've already showered you with Lord knows how much praise at this point, but I'm going to shower you a little bit more because it's my podcast. I do what the fuck I want. Look, Ibby, like I said, ever since you first reached out to me about not even getting yourself on the podcast, but getting, again, the good friend Matt on the podcast.
I joked about myself. I was joking about myself, and they're like, hey, actually, come on here. And I'm like, you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Oh, no,
I'm crazy.
See, no, that's the point I was going to get at. Ever since you first reached out to me about getting someone else on the podcast, I couldn't help but love and admire kind of your friendliness and your wholesomeness at the end of the day. Wanting to show that love and support for animation and for art in general, like that love really shone bright. And to see that you yourself have that same love and passion for it, that you're so deeply involved to be in so many different projects to help bring that to life or whatnot. That's the main reason why I wanted to bring you on this podcast, to showcase that love to the people at home, that you are a person that has a true passion and love and dedication to it, despite everything that you've had to deal with. Like, there are people that only deal with a fraction of the stuff that you've had to deal with, and they would fold easily. They would be so disheartened with what they've had to deal with that they wouldn't let that love and passion. They would let that love and passion die to focus on other things that they probably consider most important. But to see that, despite all the challenges, despite all the obstacles, despite, again, the life-threatening situations that you've had to deal with at the end of the day, the fact that you are not only survived, but you are on the other side, alive, thriving, and continuing to show that love and support, to give back and show that love, not just for the arts and animation, but to life itself. It's a very strong and powerful thing that we need a lot more of in this world at the end of the day. And I sincerely hope that everyone that watched this episode gets that feeling of that love and that passion, because it needs to be seen and it needs to be shared. And I think you're doing a fantastic job showcasing that on so many different levels. And if people are not recognizing that at this point, they need to, more than anything else.
That's so sweet.
The long and the short of it is, sincerely, thank you for what you do. Thank you for taking the time to not only provide for yourself, but provide that love back to a community that desperately needs that love at this point. Because I'm sure as someone that has worked so many jobs or whatnot, it's so hard to really, it's really easy to have that community, but it's also really hard to maintain that community at the end of the day. And the fact that you are a driving force to make sure that a community in one form or fashion is out there showcasing and sharing that love to everyone, that as much as possible. You're a real trooper for what you're doing, especially with everything you've had to deal with. And I sincerely hope you keep that up until you take whatever last breath, hopefully years from now before you take that last breath, more than anything else.
Yeah.
So thank you for what you do.
Oh, like, again, like, the community thing is so important to me, because, like, they taught me how valuable I am and what I can do and give to others, and what they've given to me I'm so thankful for. And I just want to work hard on showing everyone how much I care, and that I've got all of their backs as well, the same they had mine. And yeah, I didn't realize I didn't realize how much I meant to everybody and how much I have done for others, because, like, it just felt like the normal thing to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think I could be the first to tell you, one, it should be the normal thing to do, but I'm glad there are people out there that are doing it like yourself. So thank you for doing it, and please keep it up.
You. I will do, you know. It's what I'm all about.
Exactly. Now, if people want to see more about what you're all about and what you got going on, go ahead and plug your stuff for the people at home. Where can people find more about you and what you got going on?
Right. So I have a YouTube. I used to do animatics. Might do animatics soon again. Gonna try do that, but I will be doing Let's Plays as well.
There you go.
You can find me on Ibby The Ibster, Blue Sky, YouTube. There's also a link tree that shows you my portfolio and everything, my Instagram, all that. You can also find me on From the Outside Indie, the newish podcast, me and mine and Will's. I also hang out on Will's Twitch channel. Go subscribe to him. As he keeps saying, the algorithm hates him, so please help him out. You can also, I'm a lot of places. One more place I'll say. I'm not active on the channel, but if you want to see more of my art, you should watch Boys on Internet. They stream games every Wednesday or Thursday. I don't remember, but yeah, just yeah, that's everywhere where you can see either me or my things. Also all the projects I work on. Be on the lookout for Midmortis, Sirenetta Part-Time Mermaid, Beyond Borders, so much more. That yeah.
Oh yeah, trust me. I tried to emphasize what I could, but there was only a fraction of all the stuff that you had a chance to work on. So if you want to see all of the stuff that Ibby has had a chance to work on, go to the description of this video. I will have as many of the links as I can in there to really showcase that at the end of the day. I got you covered, Ibby. Don't worry.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And thank you for having me on.
Oh no, absolutely. Thank you for once again for taking the time to do this more than anything else. Do you have any final words before we sign off?
Keep drawing cool things, because you don't know where you'll end up. No matter what happens, even if you were nearly on your deathbed like I was, there is a life out there for you, and it's waiting, and it's beautiful if you let it be.
Absolutely. Wonderfully worded. With that, all I have left to say is, for the people at home, if you can, please pay your artists.
Woohoo!
Tell me what's wrong, tell me it's parts in motion. Sing me a song.
thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If this is your first time listening, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. Like I said in the intro, Ibby is someone that quickly became very special more than anything else, especially with what she had gone through more than anything else. And Ibby, if you've gotten up to this point, thank you for taking the time to do this, especially after everything that you've gone through. Look, I'm not going to lie. I knew going into this episode that this was the topic of her dealing with her cancer was going to be a hard topic to tackle more than anything else. But honestly, I'm so glad that we were able to talk about it, and just hearing kind of her journey dealing with that, how hard of a struggle it was. It's something that I am lucky enough to not have gone through. And I can only imagine just how it's one of those pains that I hope not to wish even on my worst enemies more than anything else. And the fact that Ibby was able to tackle it, handle it, and come out the other side stronger than ever, it's a wonderful tale at the end of the day. And I'm so glad that not only was she able to survive and be able to talk about it, but the fact that she's able to thrive and continue to do what she loves. Because I could tell from our conversation that she cannot get enough of the art that she's involved with. She cannot get enough of the friends that she was able to make and the family that she has earned along the way. I hope that today's episode, if there are people out there that you know that are struggling, whether it be the physical disease or a mental disease or a public disease, a private disease, whatever form of struggle more than anything else, just make sure you go to your loved ones. Make sure you let them know how much you care about them. Make sure you let them know that they are special and they mean something, and you are more than happy to fight for them no matter what. There are so many people out there that struggle on so many different levels, and if today's episode is a testament of anything, that strong will, that determination, and the family and friends that you have around you can help you tackle anything that gets thrown your way. And I sincerely hope that mentality is something that you guys continue, not just with your art careers, but just life in general. Life is too short to have it cut short by something like this. Life is too short not to have that kind of love out there in the world. Especially in today's day and age where it's so easy to fall into hate and fall victim to depression and anxiety and all that stuff. Just know that there are people out there that do love and care about you and want to see you succeed no matter what. Again, whether it's on a professional level with the art that you do or on a personal level, just making sure that you're able to live your life at the end of the day, because you deserve to live it. Just know that there are people out there that are more than willing to show that love and support for you, and make sure you know that they matter. Make sure you know that you matter at the end of the day.